Here we go. So the name of this story is called Buying Coffee. Buying coffee. Yeah, coffee. Does everybody have coffee? Coffee? I have coffee. I'm drinking coffee. Very good. This is called Buying Coffee. So all you need to do is watch and listen. That's all. Just watch and listen. So this is a man. This is a man. He's a man, and his name is Chris. His name is Chris. Chris. And Chris is a man. His name is Chris. And his name is Chris. Chris works in an office building. He works in this building, this big office building. Yeah, his job is in this big office building. And he works here. He works here upstairs in the office building. He works up here on the fourth floor. He works way up here on the fourth floor. So there is Chris right there. There's Chris, and he works in this office building. And downstairs in the office building, there is a coffee shop. Here's a coffee shop. Yeah, it's a shop that sells coffee. It's a coffee shop. So Chris works in the building, and downstairs there is a coffee shop. So last night, Chris was asleep. Okay, he was sleeping last night, sleeping, right? He was sleeping last night at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock at night, very early, very, very early. And now look at the clock again. Now it's 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and Chris is not sleeping. He's not sleeping anymore. He's awake. He's awake. He's not sleeping. He's awake. So last night, Chris slept 1 hour. He only slept for 1 hour. He only slept for 1 hour. He only slept for 1 hour. So now it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Look at the clock. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. And Chris is going to work. He's going to work. Yeah, you can tell it's in the morning if you look out of the window here. Out of the window here is the sun. The sun is in the sky. It's morning. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. And Chris is going to work. He goes to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me. He goes to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. Here is Chris at work. Chris is at work in his office, and he sits at a desk, right? He sits at a desk, and he's on his computer. He's here. Here is his computer, and he sits at a desk. This is the desk. The desk. He sits at the desk. Excuse me. And here is his computer. And he's working. Chris has a lot of work. He has a lot of work. Look at all that work he has to do. He has a lot of work. But Chris is tired. He's really tired. Look. Oh, he's yawning. He's really tired. He's very tired because he had 1 hour of sleep. 1 hour of sleep. So he's Oh, he's very tired, very, very tired. And Chris yawns. This is a yawn. Oh, he's very tired. He yawns. There is Chris again. And look, he has a lot of work. Oh no, he has a lot of work. But he is very tired. He's very tired. He can't stay awake. He's very tired. He can't really work because he's so tired. He's so tired. So Chris has an idea. Chris has an idea. He thinks, I want a cup of coffee. I want a cup of coffee. Yeah, I want a cup of coffee, Chris says. Chris says, I want a cup of coffee, he thinks. I want some coffee. So Chris goes downstairs. He goes downstairs in his building and he goes to the coffee shop. Yeah, he goes to the coffee shop. But the coffee shop is closed. It's closed. Yeah, he can't get coffee. Look at the sign. It says right there, it's closed, closed. And he can't open the door. He can't open the door, right? He's trying to, it won't open because it's closed. The coffee shop is closed. The sign says closed. And Chris looks in the window. He looks inside. There's nobody in the coffee shop. It's empty. There's no one inside. No one inside. So the coffee shop is closed. So Chris is going to walk down the street. Right now he's doing it. He walks down the street and he looks for another coffee shop. He looks for another coffee shop. And he finds another coffee shop. Yeah, he finds another coffee shop on the corner. Looks like Starbucks, doesn't it? Doesn't that look like Starbucks? I think it is. And he looks at the sign. He looks at the sign, and the sign says open. Yeah, open. So the coffee shop is open. This coffee shop is open. So he goes into the coffee shop. He goes into the coffee shop. Yeah, Chris goes in. He goes into the coffee shop. And he says to the barista, he says to this woman, they call her, I think, the barista, he says, a coffee, please. A coffee, please. He wants a coffee. Yeah, he says, a coffee, please. How much is it? How much is it? And the woman says, $3. She says, it's $3. $3. So Chris pays the $3. That's maybe three $1 bills. He pays the money. He pays the $3. And the woman gives him a coffee. Yeah, she gives him a coffee. And Chris puts milk in the coffee. He puts milk in the coffee. And Chris puts sugar in the coffee. Yeah. So here is milk and here is sugar. He puts milk and sugar in the coffee. Milk and sugar. He puts milk and sugar in the coffee. And Chris goes back to his office. He goes back upstairs to his office. And Chris drinks the coffee. He drinks the coffee. Yeah, he drinks all of the coffee with milk and sugar. Now, Chris is awake. Yeah, he's awake because of the coffee. Chris is not tired anymore. He's not tired. Now, Chris can work. He can work, I don't know how long, but he can work the rest of the day. So Chris starts to do his work. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you some easy questions, easy questions about the story. And you can all answer together if you want to. So they're very easy questions. The answer to the question is yes or no. So turn on your microphone if you can. Turn on your microphone so I can hear you. You can all talk together. No one is right, no one is wrong. We're just your reaction, your question to the question. What do you think? So here's the first question. Let's see here. These are very easy. So this is not a question. Not a question. So this is a man and his name is Chris. This is a man and his name is Chris. Okay. Is his name Daniel? Is his name Daniel? No. Yeah, no. His name isn't Daniel. Nope, his name isn't Daniel. Is his name Chris? Is his name Chris? Yes, his name is Chris. This is Chris. And Chris is at his desk. I'm using the word desk. The desk is where he sits, at his desk. And Chris has a lot of work. He has a lot of work. And Chris is tired. Chris is very tired. Here's my question. Is Chris hungry? Does he want to eat? Does he want to eat? No. Chris is not hungry. He's not hungry. Yeah, he's not hungry. He's not hungry. Is Chris tired? Oh, is he tired? Yeah. Yes, he is. He's very tired. He's very tired. Very tired. And Chris wants coffee. Yeah, he wants coffee. This is coffee. And Chris wants some coffee. He wants some coffee. Does Chris want water? Does he want water? Water? Does not, no. Yeah, he does not want water. He doesn't want water. Yeah, he doesn't want water. Does Chris want coffee? Does he want coffee? Yes. Chris wants coffee, or as I like to say, coffee, right? He wants coffee, very important coffee in the morning, I think. Yeah, he wants coffee. Okay. So Chris goes to the coffee shop downstairs. And Chris pulls on the door. He pulls, but the door is locked. It won't open. Yeah, it won't open. It won't open. He can't open the door. So is the coffee shop open? Is the coffee shop open? No. This coffee shop is not open. It's not open. It's not open. Is this coffee shop closed? Is it closed? Yep, it is. It is. This coffee shop is closed. It's closed. Yeah, it's closed. Listen how I say that word. Closed. Closed. Yeah, closed. It's closed. Not open. It's closed. So Chris walks down the street. He walks down the street and he finds another coffee shop. So Chris finds another coffee shop. And this coffee shop is on I'm using the word a corner. Yeah, a corner. It's on a corner where two streets come together. The coffee shop is on a corner. Does Chris go into this coffee shop? Does he go into the coffee shop? Does he go into the coffee shop? Yes, he does, because this coffee shop is open. It's open, and he goes into the coffee shop. And Chris asks, how much is the coffee? And the woman says, the coffee costs $3. Costs $3. Yeah, so here's my question. Does the coffee cost $10? Does it cost $10? Heck no. Heck no, not $10. No, the coffee does not cost $10. It doesn't cost $10. Does the coffee cost $3? $3? Yes, yes, the coffee costs $3. The coffee costs $3. $3. So Chris puts milk in the coffee. He puts milk in the coffee. And Chris puts sugar. Sugar, this is sugar. He puts sugar in the coffee. So he puts milk and sugar into the coffee. Yeah, he puts milk and sugar into the coffee. Does Chris, I'm sorry, here's my question. Is this milk? Is this milk? No, it's not milk. This is not milk. This is sugar. You're right. This is sugar. Yeah, this is sugar. Is this sugar? Is this sugar? Is this sugar? No, it's not sugar. It's not sugar. Nope, it's not sugar. Yeah. Okay, so Chris drinks the coffee, and now Chris is awake. He's awake. Yeah, he's not sleepy anymore. He's awake, and Chris does his work. Is Chris asleep? Is he sleeping right now? Is he sleeping? No, Chris is not sleeping. Yeah, he's not sleeping right now. Is Chris awake? Awake is not sleeping. Yes, he is. Chris, yes, he is. Chris is awake. He's not sleeping anymore. And now he can do his work. He can do his work. And now my question, do you drink coffee? Do you drink coffee? Do you drink coffee?